So basically all I wanted to do was play some GTA, you know, relive some of the old memories, you know, go down memory lane. But what I've seen the last couple of days is something I've never experienced in 20 years of gaming. And this is not a gaming channel, and I don't aspire to have one because there are enough of those out there, and I don't feel like, you know, I'm not a game expert, I'm not I'm not a game reviewer or anything like that, and but I just every now and then I talk about the things that are dear to my heart on this channel as well. And boy, this one moved me really, because, and I'm trying to brace myself, and I'm trying to hold back a little bit and try to, you know, say some constructive criticism as opposed to just ranting. But I think there will be a couple of words that are not so nice, because this was just a major clusterfuck. Oh, here we go. I have to say, a couple of months ago, I was really hyped when I heard the first rumors that there would be a remake of the 3D GTA trilogy. So GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. I was totally hyped. And when it was officially confirmed by Rockstar Games, I was really, you know, I was just so full of joy, and I was so looking forward to it. And I have to say, and that is important for the rest of this video, I was not someone, I mean, there were a fair share of people from the beginning that said, you know, oh, this is not going to be any good, and you know, they won't get it done, and it won't be any useful, and it will be bad. Looking at how Rockstar Games, you know, has worked the last couple of years, where they did many missteps. But I was always, no, this is going to be great, and I was really, you know, sort of a little bit naive, I have to admit, but I was all a fanboy, and I was excited and so on. And then when I saw the first official, you know, screenshots and the trailers and so on, well, the trailer, there was not much else being put out, especially no gameplay footage, which now in retrospect makes sense. I understand why they didn't show any footage. But I was all for it. I was really rooting for Rockstar. I was really looking forward to it. My Twitter feed, you know, goes to prove that I was really excited about this, and I was all supportive of it, very optimistic. Then came Thursday. So what I did is I pre-ordered, which I was just so excited that day when was officially, you know, when you could start a pre-order. I was so excited, had a little bit money left in my PayPal account, so I just pre-ordered it. And that was the first thing. It didn't bother me back then. It only bothers me now in hindsight, where so much bad stuff has happened. Pre-order bonus, there was hardly any bonus. No redeeming features. There was just a $10 coupon for any other Rockstar game title in the Rockstar shop. So I thought, okay, that's not my definition of a pre-order bonus. For me, a pre-order bonus is something like, for instance, you can access the files a little bit earlier, and so maybe on launch day you can you know, have download the first files half an hour before it goes live, so you can really start at the time when it launches actually. Or maybe other little gimmicks like different skins from the beginning, or that you have some weapons to start with, or you have some money to begin with when you start the game, or any of the 3 games, you know, the definitive edition. And there was nothing of that, just that $10 coupon. I said, okay, who cares? Come Thursday, there was a global launch date, and Thursday morning I got up. Here in Switzerland, it would have launched at 4 in the afternoon, so 4 p.m. So I got up that morning and I saw the first videos on YouTube. And I noticed that it had already been released on PlayStation 5, and I thought, what the hell is this? I mean, there was a global launch date, so everybody would start at the same time, exactly, and all of a sudden, PlayStation users are playing it already. Maybe, what is this? Okay, but all this stuff was not that bad, and you know, I heard all the comments beforehand where people, you know, sort of mocked the character models, you know, and I was sort of oblivious to it, you know. I just said, okay, Tommy Vercetti doesn't remotely look like Tommy Vercetti in the original game, and there were some hints at, you know, bad AK-47 model in San Andreas and all these things, and I thought, well, those are not really deal breakers if you're immersed in the game. So it was Thursday, it was 4 p.m. I downloaded the launcher beforehand and everything. The 3 games were listed since I pre-ordered them, but I couldn't start, I couldn't download, I couldn't do nothing. And by the way, I think the Rockstar launcher is just a bad thing. It doesn't offer, it didn't have a countdown, it doesn't offer any, graphics, it doesn't have any trailers, no information or anything. It's really just a subpar product, really, to be honest. So I had to wait about 15 to 20 minutes until I could download the first files, okay? And I was one of the lucky ones because I was at home, I had a day off, and so I could immediately launch into the game, so I could start play Vice City. The first thing I noticed, I do not have a high-end gaming PC by no means. I have sort of a middle-class PC because my PC is optimized for, programs, tools like Cubase, music software, and so on. The graphics card that I have is not that great, but it is a middle-class computer, and I've expected a 20-year-old game with a little bit of enhancements here and there would still run properly. The performance was miserable. It was really laggy. It was very slow. I had to turn down the graphics settings so low that it almost looked like the original game. So that was the first blow. And then for an hour or two, I was quite, entertained. Vice City is my favorite game. I played this about 5 to 10 times in my lifetime, and I just thought to re-experience it with, some modern touches would be very nice. But after 1 or 2 hours, sort of the nostalgia wore off, and I was just left with the same game that I've played many times. So I started to look a little more concerned. But yeah, so the one thing was like the laggy performance, and I had to turn down also, the size and everything, and the graphics settings. And every time I would close the game and reopen it, it wouldn't, use the settings I used before. It just went back to default, which is really annoying. I had to reset everything every time I restarted the game. And then I already noticed some glitches, like you couldn't swim. Okay, it's just a remaster. And by the way, I understand because there were some people online who pointed out, oh, you guys don't get it. You don't understand the difference between a remake and a remaster. I do understand the difference, but still, this is a really poor remaster in the end. Even for a remaster, it's really poorly done. And then I started to notice some glitches, like the apparent graphic glitches where cars would sometimes just float in the air. There was stuff was not finished. Sometimes stuff wouldn't be rendered properly, like when you get, the estate, the Diaz mansion. That was weird. And then you have stuff like when Diaz waves his gun around, there's just the gun is not properly in his hand, and little tiny details like that. And I got used to Tommy Vercetti's look, but some of the other characters look really bad. I mean, Lance Vance had this sort of cross-eye thing going on. Other characters look straight like Mr. Potato Head, maybe with a wig or something. But, all these things, you started to notice them. Also, the sound was sort of a little bit off. You couldn't really feel weapon impact, and when you shot, I think gun sounds never were the forte of GTA games in general, especially San Andreas, but Vice City I never liked the gun sounds too. But anyway, those are just minor details. And what I noticed is that some songs were missing. Again, that's a thing. And what I also noticed is, for example, that MP3 player feature was gone. I mean, in the old GTA games, you had the option to have your own radio station, which is just labeled MP3 player. You could, load in your own songs and have your own, radio station, which was cool because I loaded in some additional 80s tracks to sort of broaden the catalog of songs. And like I said, some characters look really bad, especially like characters like Candy Sucks, who's just completely unproportional. Her head looked like she got, stuck in a vice. It's just so many things are so badly executed. The rain looks really poor. And yeah, but then again, I was still sort of hyped and positive about the whole thing, even after experiencing that thing. Come the next day, I wanted to play again. It wasn't possible. The Rockstar launcher was offline. I noticed this already the evening before when I played, but fortunately I had some settings that allow me to play offline, but there was a problem with synchronization of the cloud and so on. But the next day it was impossible to play. Every time I wanted to play, it just would crash, or it would not load up or whatever. And then I saw the tweet by the Rockstar support page. But by the way, I don't intend to lay into the Rockstar support because they just do what they're told to. And I saw they tried their best to answer as many questions as it came. There were many people, hundreds of people asking for refunds, and they answered every single one of them and said, get in touch, this and that. But the official page was really poorly managed. I mean, the first thing that came out was just the most generic excuse about some maintenance, which now in hindsight turned out to be bullshit. It was not a maintenance issue. But that was practically it. One tweet in about 24 hours, just about maintenance stuff. And then Friday, I noticed I still couldn't play it. It was still offline. And then almost a day later, the next tweet came. It would still not be able to play on PC. The next tweet came. Thank you for your patience, blah, blah, blah. Again, the most generic thing you've ever heard. And that was like a slap in the face. I mean, it was not, that's really poor management, you know. And then, now it's Saturday evening, almost 6 p.m. when I record this video. I still can't play it. I mean, they then said, I think tonight, they tweeted that the Rockstar launcher is now back online, which, by the way, is bullshit. It's still offline. And they said, but the games have been pulled from the service. I thought, yeah, well, I have it on the computer. It won't be possible. I woke up today, wanted to play a little bit, try again. I mean, it's 2 days later now after the launch. It's still not there. Now, the difference is the games are really completely gone. They're nowhere to be found. There's still the shortcuts on the desktop, but when you try to run the game over those, nothing happens. So that's really a major clusterfuck. And the last tweet they did was they said they had to pull the games to remove some content that was not intended to be in there in the first place. What is this? I mean, why do you lie to people, to your customers, about some maintenance bullshit, to then say that some files have to be pulled from the game, and that takes you 2 to 3 days? I mean, we're going towards day 3 now. It's almost 3 days where you can't play the damn game you paid for. What is this? It takes you 3 days to remove some content? I don't think so. And now I think it has been confirmed by Rockstar that they had to delete a couple of songs that you can hear them in the game, but they're still in the game files. They had to delete those, and then obviously some developer notes that are wound up in the code that some people discovered. But come on, what is this? Even if that's true, that's no excuse. That's just no excuse. And you know, I was sort of hoping maybe they would work on some bugs and glitches, but I don't think so, because they would have pulled it from all the services for all the platforms in that case. And even that, if they would work on a patch in the background, you could still let people play the game in the meantime, and not just pull it and let people wait around without any proper communication or anything like that. And I have to say, the only reason why I'm not getting a refund right now is because I hope that once more the modding community will step up, you know, motivated people that care about a product, and will actually fix a game that has been released. It's not the first time, it happened in many cases. And I really think that the modders will do their job, and they will allow us to play the game that should have been done properly by Rockstar and Take-Two in the first place. But again, that's down to the modders. And if it's going really, really well, then they're going to do a mod that improves the game so it's really an acceptable form of the game, and then they get sued or it gets C&D'd and pulled down. You know, that's the worst thing that could happen. But looking how this company treated stuff lately, it's not out of the question. So that's really, really, really bad stuff that's going on, and it really pisses me off. Like I said, I'm not getting a refund because it's not because I believe in Rockstar to do any good, because I don't think they're now working on bugs and glitches and probably what they should do as well, because meanwhile, you know, everybody seems to agree that most of the character designs are just straight and bad. And I don't think that they're going to change that all around, because they don't have such a great track record of listening to fans and actually doing something for the fans. A couple of friends asked me, because, you know, I was talking to everybody about this in the last couple of months, and they all contacted me and wrote me, hey, how is it, and so on. I said, you know what, honestly, the state this is in right now, I might as well just, fortunately I still have GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas in my Steam library. I might as well get back those, you know, apply the silent patches, and it's way better than what we've got now. Maybe somewhere down the line they will optimize it, they will optimize the performance, they will maybe work on the character models that will take care of the bugs and glitches, but I'm pretty sure it won't be from the official side. It will be modders once again, and they're not paid any respect or or any sort of, you know, thankfulness from the official side, because those guys are doing it for free and they're doing the work you should have done in advance. So now I'm really curious to hear what you think about all these ongoings. Write some comments down in the comment section. Thank you for listening.